Good evening, Rockstars. It's your friend Xavier here, and tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys about history using something we all know and we all love, Super Mario Brothers. I'm going to be representing Mario Brothers to talk about what happened to our ancestors during human history. So imagine being in your own kingdom, living happily ever after with your other ancestors, and you have your own hut and your village has shops. The kingdom I'm talking about is Africa. And Africa represents the Mushroom Kingdom. And the African ancestors represents toads from the Mushroom Kingdom. Then all of a sudden, Bowser's army, representing the slave traders, approaching the kingdom, capturing all the toads, representing the African ancestors. You guys may have heard of this Black History movie called Roots, where Kunta and Fanta are being taken away from Africa. I'm going to be using Princess Peach to represent Fanta because somewhere in the movie, Fanta gets pulled out of the bottom of the ship and the slave traders, which is Bowser's army, presents Fanta to the captain of the ship, representing Bowser himself. So when the slaves representing the toads arrive at the plantations representing Bowser's lair, the ancestors are being treated as objects and animals because like some players in Bowser's army would see Toad as a mushroom because like he wears the mushroom hat, but in reality I call them humans because they wear clothing, they wear jackets, and they wear diapers, and they wear shoes. If toads were not human, would they be wearing all that stuff? Like, would they be wearing the jacket and the diaper and the shoes? No, they wouldn't, because the other Mario characters, like whereas enemies, they don't wear clothing. And the slave traders and the slave masters and the slave owners and slave holders, they looked at our ancestors as something less than human, which is dehumanization, which is a sin, taking away their dignity. And the slave masters, majority of them abused their slaves, and they would like force them to do things against their will. Like imagine Bowser, like making Kamek use some type of magic or potion to make toads do whatever they tell them to do, like hypno- hypnotizing them. And when the African ancestors refused to do the task, the slave masters abuse them or maybe kill them or sell them. It's like if the toads would refuse to do what Bowser says, Bowser would like eliminate them, and it'll be like, you know how in the video games you lose a life and game over? I've been hearing rumors that Bowser turns toads into bricks, which would be a punishment if the toads didn't do whatever Bowser said to do. Now we're going to talk about Harriet Tubman representing Mario, Frederick Douglass representing Luigi, Martin Luther King Jr. representing the Grand Star, or the superstar, whatever you guys would want to call it. And they would try to do everything they can to fight for the slaves and fight for freedom, even if it meant putting themselves in danger. Because slaves themselves, they would often get in prison, in trouble, get whipped, or get exterminated from running away from their plantation or trying to escape, just like toads would often be eliminated and lose their lives and game over if they tried to run away from Bowser's lair. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget about Abraham Lincoln, who ended slavery. He could represent the superstar, and Martin Luther King Jr. can actually represent another Mario. We'll discuss Abraham Lincoln in a minute. But let's talk about the Underground Railroad. You see, the Underground Railroad was not underground, and it was not a literal railroad, and it was not built or found. It just exists, and it was used for people to cooperate with each other and escape. Like one enslaved person, which was Harriet Tubman, used the Underground Railroad to free the other slaves. Imagine being enslaved and someone came up to you and was like, "Hey, follow me. I know a secret path." You follow that person and that person leads you to another person, and that person leads you to another person, and that person leads you to another person. Like, you guys are basically working together to escape from places that you were drawn into against your will. Just like the green pipes in Mario, they weren't built by an individual and they weren't found. They were used to take you from one place to another place. Now we're going to talk about the Civil War. So imagine two kingdoms going against each other. One kingdom fighting for the Toads' freedom, and the other kingdom fighting to keep the Toads enslaved. The man who was leading the kingdom that was fighting for freedom was Abraham Lincoln. You see, Abraham would be the star moment in history. Back in 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. In simple terms, it declared that all enslaved people in the rebellious southern states were free. Just like Lincoln grabbing the star and saying, "No more, Bowser! You have no rights to keep these people captive anymore." Okay, so now let's talk about the 13th Amendment. You see, the Emancipation Proclamation alone wasn't enough, and that's why in 1865, the 13th Amendment was added to the United States Constitution, and that permanently abolished slavery throughout the whole entire country, throughout all the states, not some states, all the states. And that was the moment where Mario finally defeated Bowser. That's when we'll discuss the KKK. You see, even after slavery ended and Bowser was defeated, his remaining army refused to accept that the Toads won and they were defeated. And that's when they started to use intimidation to keep black people from enjoying their freedom. But just like any other scenario, like any of Bowser's army, they would ultimately fail. And that's a good thing, because Bowser's army are the villains, and the enslaved, well, not enslaved anymore, the black people, which are toads, they always win. After the KKK era, segregation. You see, black people were only limited to certain things in the country. They were only allowed in separate schools, separate bathrooms, separate hospitals, separate stores, separate jobs. That's just like Bowser and his army making up rules where toads weren't allowed to go places of their own kingdom. That's when a new hero arose, Martin Luther King Jr., who fought with no violence, no weapons, but with love and truth. Those are the most powerful weapons he used to fight. But just like every other toad in the Mario metaphors or in the Mushroom Kingdom, where they would always get eliminated by Bowser's army who stands up, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated and taken from us too soon in April 4th, 1968. Rockstars, guess what? Here's the most beautiful and powerful truth. African Americans are now free, they're now educated, and they're now thriving. They're out making music, they're doing all types of activities, they're doing art, and look at me. I'm a 19-year-old African American boy talking to you guys, and I'm talking to you guys about how Bowser never won. You see, if it wasn't for Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Martin Luther King Jr., and Abraham Lincoln, we wouldn't be here right now. I wouldn't be talking to you guys right now. See, so this is proof that the Mushroom Kingdom is now saved. I hope you guys enjoyed this evening show. If you like this one and want more videos like this one, go ahead and hit the like button and subscribe, and comment down below what your favorite activity is. Remember, my name is Xavier Gathers, and I hope you guys have a great evening.